Hello, my name is Awang Umar bin Awang Hambali, and I will be presenting on my group's first part of this presentation, which is regarding the introduction section for this organization background. The company or organization that my group has decided to be selected as our case study is the Petroliam Nasional Berhad, or commonly known as Petronas. It is a company that was established back in 1974. It is Malaysia's fully multinational integrated oil and gas company, and it is ranked among the largest corporation in Fortune Global 500. In short, it is a very successful company in our country. So what is the behind factors of this Petronas formation? So in the early, some of the factors that lead to this company formation is the implementation of the new economic policy NEP in the early of 1970s. Secondly, it is due to drastic increase in the price of per oil barrel in 1972. And thirdly, in the 1970s period, it is a period of time in which several countries were moving from the traditional concession approach in dealing with their country's petroleum activities toward the production sharing context, or PSC. Other related relevant information regarding Petronas is that it is a company that does not sought for funds from the national treasury. Compare it to our neighbor, Indonesia, with its oil company, Pertamina, which still does this activity. Other than that, by enacting the 1974 Petroleum Development Act, this company, Petronas, have received unopposed and exclusive rights and power to control over the nation's petroleum and hydrocarbon resources. Other than that, third and finally, in 2019, there are 3 Petronas companies that have been listed at the Bursa Malaysia. Those 3 companies are, firstly, Petronas Dagangan Berhad, secondly, Petronas Gas Berhad, and thirdly, Petronas Chemical Groups Berhad. So these are some of the related and relevant background information regarding Petronas. I pass the responsibility to continue my presentation to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is Valentine Anatmayang, and for this presentation, my part will discussing about the implementation of knowledge management in Petronas company. The first implementation is regarding on the global oil industry highly competitive need knowledge management. We know that all of the sector, especially company in this sector, placing high premium on experienced and knowledgeable workforce. So this make the management of employee have big problem because competitors do their best to attract skilled staff to work in their company. So the leader or manager in the Petronas company should be able to apply tacit knowledge to all employees, especially skilled workers, through motivation, so that they are more confident to continue serving and not to choose to quit. So for implement to achieve this loyalty of workers or staff, the management should be able to apply 5C, which recognized as trust factor among the workers. This 5C is referred to the competent, commitment, conflict, communication, and caring. So if this knowledge is be able to apply, it will help to make the workers in this company become more loyal. The second implementation is to address the risk of an aging workforce. The management should be able to ensure that the tacit knowledge from the senior employee be able to capture and apply to the new employee. This can be adapted through the sharing tacit knowledge where it requires socialization among the employee in the organization. It also can be formed through tacit to tacit knowledge, and the organization may document it through tacit to explicit knowledge. This is important to make it become a reference for the future in this organization. Besides of that, sharing process among the senior workforce also should be suitable and orderly to ensure that this is more knowledgeable and very important to the training of the employee. Lastly, the implementation of knowledge management in this company is driven by increasing in international operation through knowledge acquisition. Okay, this knowledge management is to assist the streamlining the management of threat, which is related to the operation at the international level. So it also help this company to deal better with other organization, especially from their customer, partners or supplier. So this knowledge acquisition can be get from their feedback or whatever complaint from these three parties. So through this feedback, they will able to evaluate it and formulate it to their new strategy to make them more competitive among the others company. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Berhad, and I would like to present about the evaluation of implementation of knowledge management. The first implementation of knowledge management is by placing high premium on experienced and knowledgeable workforce. For this one, implementation of 5C is important. 5C consists of competence, commitment, conflict, communication, and caring. It is important because employees acquire it through socialization. High experienced and knowledgeable employees need to be taken care by Petronas because it is an advantage for Petronas to keep competing with other companies. The second implementation of knowledge management is to address the risk of an aging workforce. The use of tacit knowledge such as socialization is one of the best ways younger employees gain knowledge from workers that approach retirement age. Therefore, this would address the risk of an aging workforce because the younger employees have the knowledge that have been shared by the workers that approach retirement age. The third implementation of knowledge management is to increase international operation through knowledge acquisition. The main source of knowledge acquisition for Petronas is their customer, partner, competitor, and supplier. Knowledge acquisition important for Petronas because Petronas could identify their weakness through it. In conclusion, the implementation of knowledge management by Petronas is one of the best ways Petronas to keep on competing with other companies.
Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. I'm Siti Aida binti Jamain, and I will present on the part challenges in implementing knowledge management for Petronas. The first challenge are in organizational competitiveness. Knowledge is the one that sure source the lasting competitive advantage. Many leaders in organizations should know on how to utilize their intangible assets such as building, manpower, equipment, and so on. For example, the employee will happily to stay with the organization if their welfare is maintained. So the leaders should know on how to take care of the employee satisfaction. When the employees stay longer in the organization, the employee can gain more experience and be more expert in doing their job. Next, the different gap of the age group. Also the challenge in implementing knowledge management. All of us know in the organization it must have different kind of generation, attitude, behavior, and so on. When there are more different between their age, mindset, and attitude, it will cause more conflict that involve the employee. Due to that, some of the older generation will not obey or not accept the young generation instruction or opinion, even though the young generation might be have a fresh idea. However, sometimes when the older generation that expert in that job want to retire, the organization should find the best way to deliver the knowledge to young generation. So the knowledge sharing session among them will be more efficient. Last but not least, the challenge of the implementation knowledge management is the technology. Nowadays, we can use a lot of application to communicate with people as long as we have the internet connection. We can deliver the information in efficient way, like it takes a short period of time. However, the information that we record or deliver might be hacked by the irresponsible person. But if the organization keep the information by doing manual way, it will be hard for the future worker to find the information. If the organization record the information in online file like Google Drive, it will be easier for them to access because they can access it anywhere and anytime. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sean Kelly, and today I will be presenting my parts within our group assignment. The first part will be the suggestion. The first suggestion for our assignment, which is to create a knowledge sharing. It is very important to encourage them to learn new things that gives edge to them, especially that are required for their tasks outside of their profession. For example, the Petronas Syntheum oil is a result of knowledge sharing between collaboration of Mercedes and also Petronas, and therefore it can boost their organization goals. Secondly, to appoint a knowledge manager. It is very important to implement the knowledge manager within the organization. Without it, employees will face difficulties, especially in managing the true information that can be used as a knowledge. For example, the knowledge manager, such as the Marvel film director, also considered as a knowledge manager, has done numerous things that gives benefits to their company, especially when they give the credit scenes for audiences. And therefore, Petronas should appoint a knowledge manager in order to enhance their management within their knowledge states. And the third suggestion will be the benchmarking process of a current knowledge. Current knowledge that are practiced by Petronas might be successful, familiar, or suffer a decline within their company. It also can prevent this kind of thing by comparing their oil and gases by managing or observing other as well. For example, Petronas collaborates with Mercedes-AMG in terms of their engine oil that can benefit both of them, and therefore a benchmarking is indeed can elevate their marketable profits and goals. So for the conclusion, it emphasizes on the two importance of knowledge manager. Firstly, to provide appropriate guidelines. Knowledge managers are crucial within organization. Avenger directors such as Joss Whedon gives good credits to audiences, and it also can be considered as a works of a good knowledge manager. And secondly, it must ensure the teams on the right path. Knowledge manager that benefits team member might not benefit the organization in terms of their knowledge. KFC once introduced their Zinger waffle but failed, and therefore KFC replaced with their old recipe, which is the Zinger burger, in order to satisfy the customer needs, and therefore Petronas should make the appropriate way in order to satisfy their customer. And thus, that is from us. Thank you.